What if I told you that some of the most important foods in your kitchen, the kiwi, the salmon, the humble bowl of rice, are connected to discoveries so shocking they won the Nobel Prize? A century ago, people were dying from paralysis, bleeding disorders, and mysterious illnesses no one could explain. Then a handful of scientists uncovered the invisible molecules inside our food that keep us alive. Today, we're breaking down the top 5 Nobel-linked vitamins that influence how long you live, and the exact whole natural foods that deliver them. Our story begins with a strange medical mystery in the tropics. In the late 1800s, thousands of people across Asia were collapsing from a terrifying illness called beriberi. Their legs paralyzed, hearts failing, minds confused. No one knew why, until a Dutch scientist noticed something shocking. Chickens fed polished white rice developed the same symptoms, while chickens eating unpolished rice stayed perfectly healthy. That simple clue led Christian Eichmann to the discovery of vitamin B1, the spark plug nutrient your cells need to make energy. And here's why B1 matters for longevity. Vitamin B1 is the molecule that lets your mitochondria turn food into energy. Without enough of it, your brain slows, your nerves malfunction, and your muscles weaken. Exactly what Eichmann saw in those paralyzed patients. In other words, you can eat plenty of calories, but without B1, your body can't use them. That's why beriberi appeared in populations eating polished rice. The milling process stripped away the nutrient-rich outer layer, removing the very vitamin that makes energy possible. You can get vitamin B1 naturally from a handful of nutrient-dense whole foods. Pork is one of the richest and most easily absorbed sources. Whole grains like brown rice, barley, and oats contain the same outer layers that once protected Eichmann's chickens. Legumes such as lentils and black beans offer a steady plant-based supply. And small, powerful foods like sunflower seeds and nuts, especially pecans and macadamias, round out the list by providing thiamine along with healthy fats and minerals. If vitamin B1 was discovered in rice fields, vitamin C was discovered on the open sea. For centuries, sailors embarked on long voyages only to mysteriously fall apart weeks later. Their gums bled, old wounds reopened, muscles dissolved, and their bodies literally began to break down. Entire crews died from this terrifying condition, scurvy, and no one understood why. The turning point came when physicians noticed that sailors who had access to fresh fruits and vegetables stayed healthy, while those living on salted meat and biscuits wasted away. But it wasn't until the 1930s that Hungarian scientist Albert Szent Györgyi finally isolated the invisible molecule responsible, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, and won the Nobel Prize for revealing its role in human survival. Vitamin C quickly became known not just as the anti-scurvy vitamin, but as a guardian of cellular health. It's one of the body's most important antioxidants, protecting DNA from oxidative damage, a central driver of aging. It supports immune cells, strengthens collagen in skin and blood vessels, enhances iron absorption, and improves the body's ability to repair itself. That's why scurvy looked like accelerated aging. Without vitamin C, your body lost the ability to maintain its own structure. Even today, low vitamin C levels are linked to fatigue, weakened immunity, slower recovery, and higher inflammation, all big obstacles to longevity. You can get vitamin C from an abundance of powerful whole foods. Kiwi is one of the richest natural sources, often higher than oranges, while red peppers, strawberries, and citrus fruits deliver big doses in small servings. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts quietly offer impressive amounts too, especially when lightly cooked or eaten raw. Each of these foods provides vitamin C in its natural matrix, packaged with flavonoids and phytonutrients that help your body absorb and use it more effectively than supplements ever could. If vitamin C taught us that plants can hold life-saving molecules, the next Nobel discovery showed that one vitamin controls something even more fundamental. Whether your blood clots, your bones strengthen, or your arteries harden with age.
The story of vitamin K begins with a paradox. Animals on fat-free diets began to bleed uncontrollably, even from the smallest cuts. Their blood simply refused to clot. Researchers tried adding protein, minerals, and even sugars. Nothing worked, until Danish scientist Henrik Dam noticed that the missing ingredient wasn't a macronutrient at all, but a mysterious fat-soluble compound found only in certain foods. He called it coagulations vitamin, or vitamin K, and his discovery won the Nobel Prize for revealing a nutrient so essential that without it, even a paper cut could be deadly. But what makes vitamin K fascinating today is what scientists discovered after the Nobel Prize. Vitamin K isn't just about clotting. It plays a central role in how your body handles calcium. It directs calcium into your bones and away from your arteries. When you have enough vitamin K, your bones become stronger and your blood vessels stay flexible. When you don't, calcium does the opposite of what you want. It leaves your bones and builds up inside your arteries, contributing to hardening, stiffness, and heart disease. In other words, vitamin K acts like traffic control for calcium, influencing both bone density and long-term cardiovascular health. That's why researchers today consider vitamin K, especially K2, one of the key longevity nutrients. You can get vitamin K naturally from a few remarkably powerful whole foods. Leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collard greens are packed with vitamin K1, the form that supports blood clotting. But for heart and bone health, vitamin K2 is the standout, and the richest natural source in the world is natto, the traditional Japanese fermented soybean that's long been linked with lower fracture rates and exceptional longevity. Egg yolks, grass-fed cheeses, and fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut provide additional K2 in smaller amounts, giving your body a steady supply when eaten regularly. If vitamin K determines where calcium goes in your body, the next Nobel-linked nutrient decides something even more fundamental: how your body absorbs calcium in the first place, and it comes from the most ancient source of all, sunlight.
Vitamin D's story begins not in a lab, but under the sun. For centuries, children in Northern Europe developed rickets, a disease that made their bones soft, bent, and prone to fractures. Doctors puzzled over why sunlight-deprived regions suffered the most. Then, in the early 20th century, German chemist Adolf Windaus unraveled the mystery. Sunlight interacts with sterols in the skin to produce a vital nutrient, vitamin D. His work earned the Nobel Prize, revealing how a simple molecule could transform the skeleton and human health. Beyond bone health, vitamin D is a key regulator of longevity. It helps the body absorb calcium efficiently, supports muscle function, strengthens the immune system, and modulates inflammation, all essential for aging well. Low vitamin D levels are linked with frailty, chronic disease, slower recovery, and even cognitive decline. In other words, it's not just the bone vitamin, it's a cornerstone of resilient, long-living physiology. The best sources of vitamin D are as natural as life itself. Sunlight remains the most potent source, letting your skin produce the nutrient directly. Food sources are also important, especially for those in low-light regions. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines provide abundant vitamin D. Egg yolks carry moderate amounts, and certain mushrooms exposed to ultraviolet light can also boost your levels. Incorporating these whole foods, along with sensible sun exposure, ensures your body has the raw material it needs to build strong bones, muscles, and a long, healthy life. If vitamin D helps your body build and maintain its structure, the next Nobel-linked vitamin shapes how you see the world and defend it, controlling vision, immunity, and cellular health. Vitamin A. Vitamin A's story begins with vision. Scientists long puzzled over how our eyes adapt to light and darkness, and why some people went blind at night or developed other eye disorders. In the 1960s, George Wald's Nobel-winning work revealed that vitamin A is essential for the retina, forming the light-sensitive molecules that allow our eyes to detect and process images. But vitamin A's role didn't stop at vision. It is a cornerstone of immune function, skin health, and cellular repair, all critical for long-term survival. For longevity, vitamin A is indispensable. It strengthens mucosal barriers, helping to prevent infections. It supports immune cells in fighting pathogens, and it contributes to skin and tissue repair, which slows visible and internal signs of aging. Without enough vitamin A, your body loses resilience, your vision suffers, immunity weakens, and tissue regeneration slows, leaving you more vulnerable to disease and age-related decline. Vitamin A is available in two primary forms in whole foods: preformed vitamin A, retinol, and provitamin A, beta-carotene. Animal-based sources such as beef liver, egg yolks, and butter from grass-fed cows provide retinol, which is ready for the body to use immediately. Plant-based sources like carrots, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, and dark leafy greens provide beta-carotene, which the body converts into active vitamin A as needed. By including a variety of these foods in your diet, you naturally supply your body with this vital nutrient, supporting vision, immunity, and overall longevity.
From B1 to A, these Nobel-winning discoveries show a powerful truth. The foods we eat aren't just fuel, they are life itself. By choosing whole, nutrient-rich foods, we give our bodies the tools to stay strong, resilient, and healthy for years to come.